What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Savvy Sloth. I'm your man, Bobby Z, and today we're going to be bringing another gaming review. We haven't done one in a while, mostly because there hasn't been too many games coming out in 2020, at least popular titles. I don't review every single game that comes out. But however, there has been one that's been kind of popular, and that's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot here. You can't tell already from the title. It ain't worth finishing for me, and I'm going to get into the reasons why here. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I got my PS4 Pro here. Growing up, humongous Dragon Ball Z fan. That's pretty much the only anime I ever got into in my life. I haven't relived the original Dragon Ball Z story in a long time. So I was pretty excited about this and being able to play through it again in what is considered an open world RPG. And I say that because it may look like an open world, but it does not play like one at all. 28 hours into the game, so I did give it a solid chance. I couldn't do it anymore, so I gave up, and I'm doing my review a little short. Usually I would finish the game and then come on here and do this, but I just have no urge to finish this game right now. Get him! Let's go! That was dope. Rewind it back. First few hours playing the game, I was like up here. The nostalgia was kicking in. It looked amazing. Being able to play with certain characters, like I was up here within the first few hours, and it never came back. Just slowly, which we are 27 hours later. Things I didn't like about it. One, they overly explain everything in the beginning of the game. There are just paragraphs of tutorials for things that are so freaking simple. It is just so unnecessary. That, and on top of that, I was almost 8 hours into the game and I was still getting hit with a ton of tutorials. Like, come on, I just wasted a whole day playing this game. I don't want to be learning shit still, especially shit that doesn't matter. I want to just go. So my first interpretation was either there's going to be an insane amount in inventory and character skill management, or two, none of this shit was going to matter. And it turned out to be the second one, because these character skill trees and the community board and collecting the Dragon Ball orbs to upgrade your character don't mean anything. There was a huge chunk for probably 12 hours of this game that I completely forgot about it, and I still was having no difficulty at all with the battles. None. So coupled with the redundant tutorials and over-explaining, it's also very, 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 very cutscene heavy. And this is why I say it doesn't play like an open world RPG, because you don't do the side missions and you're sticking to the main story. You're literally just jumping from cutscene to battle, from cutscene to battle, from cutscene to battle. That's not open world RPG. However, if you choose to go the route of the open world RPG, I would bet my money that nobody lasts a couple hours of doing that, because every single, I'm not even exaggerating, every single side mission is the exact same thing. Every single one. You run into a group, they say they need help, whether it's finding something, whether they're running into someone, you inevitably fight 3 of whatever it may be, robots, freezers, troopers. You're just gonna fight 3 ads, and they're super easy to kill. It's so stupid. And on top of that, you have to run into them when you're flying around in the open world all the time. So you're just doing these redundant. It's like running into a little rat-a-tat every single time in Pokemon and actually fighting it. That's what it feels like, because it's so simple, it's not hard, and it's just the same thing. The rat-a-tat has one move, tail whip. Okay, he's not gonna fight back. That's what it feels like. So the variety in the side quest is just incredibly lacking. It's non-existent, not even lacking. So after you sit through some phases, what is almost 30 minutes of cutscenes, and you finally get into a battle that is part of the story, the problem with it is they are also all the same. They're all the same. There's nothing different about them. It's block, wait for them to attack, parry, knock them to the ground, Kamehameha, wait for them to get back up. They're going to do a channeling type key blast. You phase over to the side and just hit them with yours. Like, I'm not even exaggerating what I'm about to say right now. My little cousin, who is 6 years old, doesn't own any gaming consoles. He just likes watching Fortnite on YouTube and everything. He came over here the other day, and I just wanted to experiment. I turned on Dragon Ball Z for him. He saw this setup. He was drooling. I turned it on for him. Tell him to just hit circle to attack, and triangle to charge up when they wouldn't let him attack anymore. and he was winning these fights. I mean, he was getting his ass kicked, but his meter never went completely to zero. And he was winning, and that just goes to my point that this is a Dragon Ball Z game. It's supposed to be about combat. There's some range battles in the beginning when you're fighting like Grade 8 Vegeta or the Grade 8 Gohan, and you can just spam square for your ki blast until it's over. Again, just pointless. Just feels like mindless going through the motions until it's over. One thing that really got on my nerves, that was part of the reason why I stopped playing too, is the redundant voice animations. It seems like the creators of this game loaded one voice animation for everything. Everything. You flying around, Gohan says one thing when he runs into enemies. So does Goku. He sees an apple, he says one thing. During the battles, there is only one grunting type voice. There's... Dude, it's making me go insane. I had to put the controller down. It looks like there is a ton of open world aspects to this game. Doing your different character builds, collecting the Z-Orbs to upgrade your character skill tree, the community board, but I'm telling you, it makes minimal difference, at least from my experience. I have had no difficulty with these battles, boss battles, nothing. I've maybe have died once or twice when in the beginning, when I was just a little bit under leveled for the fight and I had to do a side mission. To give you some good things about it, one, it looks amazing visually. Two, if you're someone like me, a seasoned person who likes Dragon Ball Z but haven't relived the story in a really long time, I had enjoyment for the first like 15 hours or so reliving the story, but I do know what happens, so it's not like a surprise. So it's nice to relive the story, but that alone is not going to keep me going. It feels like I kind of just bought the Blu-ray version of Dragon Ball Z, and I would have much rather have just done that and rewatched it than sit through this mediocre combat and facade of open world RPG. More things that don't matter, they try to incorporate building meals and using them for buffs before a fight, so kind of like Breath of the Wild style, where you can collect apples, fish eggs, different things in the water and in the environment, throw them into a pot randomly and cook something.
Still hit it early.
But again, I maybe did that once. Never did I actually have to throw in a meal before a fight, because like I said, you spam circle and a little Kamehameha every 30 seconds and you're going to win everything. These fights are not hard at all. They gas up the villains like it's going to be something destructive and incredibly hard to fight, and then they all have the same moveset. It's boring. A lot of the battles you can have team fights, so 2 other people along with you, and they are just overly easy. I can sit there and block and spam Krillin's ridiculously OP solar flare that just stuns the opponent for a few seconds. Ki blast them with whoever else I'm fighting with, Vegeta, Gallic Gun, Gohan, Super Masenko Bomb, like whatever. They're so easy. It's just not fun. It just feels like there's no skill gap to this game. If my 6-year-old cousin can do just as much damage as I can against a boss like Frieza, then it's not a good game. To me, so in my savvy rank meter, you know how I do it. S, A, B, C, D. S being the god tier, A being incredible, B being balanced, C just being okay, and D being dog shit. This falls into the C category for me. Just okay. If you're looking for something to kill time, maybe. I'm not hopping back into this game after 30 hours, putting the controller down. Maybe younger generation might find it better. I don't know. It's really not for me. The combat is so mediocre. It's a Dragon Ball Z game. It visually looks amazing, and it's fun to relive the story, but overall, mechanically and playing, snooze fest. So I'm done. So unless you are someone younger who likes this and floating around collecting orbs for no apparent reason, or you're just an incredibly overly drooling Dragon Ball Z fan, I don't think this game is for anybody else. My opinion. I'm gonna be hopping back into Apex Season 4 until probably Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing come out. Those will be the next 2 games we mostly review. If there's something else you think I should review, drop a comment, let me know. I'm open to anything. If I can give this game 30 hours, I could pretty much give anything 30 hours.